Some wounds don't bleed, they echo. They settle quietly inside a child's heart and grow louder with time. My name is Jane, and this is my story. I first learned that I was a mistake even before I knew how to write my name. It wasn't whispered, it wasn't hidden. You were a mistake, my mother would say every time I needed something or approached her. You ruined everything, my father would chime in. I never understood what being a mistake meant as a child. But what I understood clearly was rejection. Born into a family of 5, I was the black sheep, or rather, the unwanted one. From the beginning, I existed as a burden people carry but never wanted to acknowledge. In their story, I was erased. No one asked about me. No one asked about my day. No one noticed that I stopped talking completely at some point, since no one ever asked if I was okay. I remember one day I felt sick. I had high fever and was shivering. My younger sibling noticed and informed my parents. Our rooms are adjacent to each other, and for as long as I can remember, they have never stepped into my room. All I could hear were complaints about how I wanted to waste their money at the hospital. They said they were tired and that I should just go and die to end their shame and embarrassment. There were moments I wished I had a happy home like other children or parents I could talk to. I don't remember how many times I had to endure bullying because I had no one to talk to, or how many times I had to endure sexual harassment as a child in silence. At school, I would sit at the back of the classroom, my back lowered and my uniform faded from too many washes. When teachers asked questions, my heart would race, not because I didn't know the answer, but because I was afraid of being seen. One day, I was struggling with the difficult tests for my homework. Out of fear of being caned, I approached my mom for help. Her reply still replays in my mind. So apart from being a mistake, I didn't know you were also stupid and an attention seeker. Yes, I was stupid. Yes, I was seeking attention because I needed help. There was one incident when I gathered all the courage I had and approached my dad. With a shaking voice, I remember asking him, "Why don't you love me?" He laughed, then replied, Don't ask foolish questions. Love is not something you deserve. You are a mistake." I didn't rebel. I disappeared. I felt guilty for existing, guilty for taking up space, and guilty for wanting anything at all. I remember vividly the looks of disappointment, disgust, shame, and embarrassment every time I approached my mom and dad. I asked myself daily, what is wrong with me? Why am I different? Why do they treat me differently? I remember sitting on my bed daily, waiting for anyone, just anyone, to knock and ask if I was okay. Sadly, no one did. I experienced my first period all alone. I remember the panic, the fear, and the shame, not to mention my first relationship and the heartbreak that followed. Seeing my mom every day interacting well with the rest of my siblings, sharing moments like birthdays and outings, or styling their hair, added to the pain. To the outside world, she is a very respectable person, a role model, a mother figure to the abandoned, a mother figure to the adorned. But to me, she was just another figure of stress and disappointment. I got tired of pretending to be okay, especially in church, which was the only place they would take me. I got tired of pretending because I was never okay. I grew up, but words didn't. You are a mistake followed me into adulthood. I loved too much. I apologized a lot. I stayed quiet to keep the peace. Rejection did not make me angry. It made me panic because rejection felt familiar. At night, when the world was quiet, I lay awake replaying memories I wished I could forget. I wondered how life would have been if just one adult had said, "You matter. I matter." I struggled with self-worth in ways I could not explain. I felt guilty for wanting more from life, from love, and from myself. Happiness felt suspicious. Peace felt temporary. Sometimes, when things were going well, I waited for punishment because growing up, good things never lasted. The hardest part wasn't just the pain others caused me. It was the pain I continued to take. The hardest part wasn't just the pain others caused me. It was the pain I continued to cause myself. I spoke to myself using the words my parents gave me. You are too much. You don't deserve better. Be grateful you have anything at all. Then I remembered something. The people who hurt me moved on, but I was still carrying their harsh words. And yet, I was not a mistake. Healing didn't arrive gently. It came like grief. I had to admit something painful. Being called a mistake did not make me strong. It wounded me. Have you ever seen a bird in a cage flapping its wing Have you ever seen a bird in a cage flapping its wings, desperately trying to escape? I had to name the pain and accept that those words hurt deeply and shaped my self-worth, confidence, and identity. I slowly recognized that words spoken by wounded adults are not facts. A child could not be a mistake. Only circumstances can be unplanned. I began to challenge the lie. I was called a mistake, but I'm not one. I grieved the love, the protection, and the affirmation I deserved but did not receive. I allowed sadness, anger, and confusion to engulf me without judging myself. I visualized my younger self and spoke gently to her. You are wanted. You are enough. You are loved. I practiced daily affirmations even when they felt awkward. I limited contact and emotional access. Especially with people who reinforced shame. I came to understand that creating boundaries is not punishment. It is self-respect. I found a trusted friend who listened without minimizing my pain. This safe connection helped heal my wounds. I was spoken into pain, but I am rewriting my truth. I was spoken into pain, but I am rewriting my truth. I am not a mistake. I am intentional, worthy, and deeply loved. It took me years to realize that I was never a burden. I was just a child in need of love and care. This story is dedicated to every child who grew up believing they were a burden, to those who were blamed for circumstances they did not choose, to those who learned silence before safety, strength before softness, and survival before love, to those who learned to shrink themselves to fit into spaces that never truly welcomed them, for those who became strong, not because they wanted to, but because they had no choice. For those still carrying the pain of being called a mistake by the people they love, may this story remind you that what happened to you matters, that your wounds are real, that your survival is not weakness, it is courage. Healing may be slow, but may be messy. May this story remind you that what happened to you matters, that your wounds are real, that your survival is not weakness, it is courage. Healing may be slow, it may be messy, and it may hurt, but you are allowed to heal. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to choose yourself.